I've said this week as part of my what I would do in the budget, I would stop putting illegal migrants in hotels. Why, if we went abroad illegally, we wouldn't get put up in a hotel. So I can understand the pain that local people in these seaside towns are going through.
I wonder whether or not seaside towns are specifically vulnerable, because unfortunately, just given the way that the economy's moved, and by that I mean, you get cheap flights abroad now, etc. So the British seaside town has taken a bit of a battering, I think, in many regards. Whether or not they are seen now just as fodder for people to be sent to, if need be, put up in social housing or some of those old bed and breakfasts. And, there's a lot of elderly communities in seaside towns now that will not recognise where they grew up and spent their whole lives.
No, I agree. And I mean, if you look, though, the 2019 election, we actually got a few Conservative MPs in these seaside towns, and it's seen record investment, which is great. But you're right, it's mass migration. I mean, the 700,000 net that we saw last year, it is resulting in a cultural divide. And we're seeing it across Europe, but it's a knock-on effect. And you're right. There's a lot of older people retired to the seaside, or they live there all their lives. But I don't think it's just in seaside towns. I mean, I think we're seeing it across the UK, and people are sick of it. The British people want this solving. I mean, it's a knock-on effect on things like GP appointments, trying to get in A&E and waiting. This mass migration amount is just way too high, and we've got to fix it. And the idea that Labour would actually fix it if they got into government is a joke, I think, Patrick, because what we saw recently with the pressure that Starmer put on the Speaker, he put pressure, the diverse communities who many Labour MPs represent, he put pressure on from these communities, demonstrates that they certainly would not tackle it in my books.